Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on the show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC, CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to Focal Online TV. Welcome to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. My name is Gregphina and I serve as your news presenter here this morning on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We encourage all of our followers to kindly share our live stream, or better still, make use of our comment section so that we can be notified that you are watching us and you are following us from a distance or within our country, Liberia. So today we have varieties of newspapers in studio. We have, as usual, the Daily Observer newspaper, the Front Page Africa newspaper, the New Dawn newspaper. Closing up, we have the Hot Pepper newspaper. Don't forget, we want to recognize all of our top followers. Abu B. Jalo, thanks for following us. TC Prince is always with us here from Monday to Friday. Abu B. Jalo, and another new guy who is called Prince, he's always following us. And along with all of our followers who we cannot capture your name right now, we appreciate you. And we are here to say thank you for following us this morning. So, of course, Daily Observer has in a print this morning, U.S. impressed by House leadership on the World Economic Crime Court. U.S. is impressed by House leadership on WECC, that is the World Economic Crime Court. And then House claims future means rage. Senate selecting to work with AFL leadership on soldiers' concern. Senate selects team to work on AFL leadership on soldiers' concerns. This is from the Daily Observer newspaper. Quickly, we will run to the New Dawn newspaper. What is in a print this morning from the New Dawn newspaper? Waka's tax force on scrutiny. Waka tax force on scrutiny. No data on Liberia stage of poverty. No data on Liberia's stage of poverty. This is another interesting one that is in the print this morning. Nimba University refused sex. This is interesting. Nimba University refused sex for great claim. Nimba University refused sex for great claim. This is interesting. Ex-Chief Justice family cries for justice. Ex-Chief Justice family cries for justice. This is from the New Down newspaper, and of course, we will run quickly to the front page Africa. Let's see what front page Africa has in the paper this morning. What is in the print this morning from the front page Africa newspaper? If you are just joining us, my name is Gregphina and I am your presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Yeah, on Focal Online TV, all we do is we bring innovation to broadcasting on this platform called the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, where we bring to you information relating to our country Liberia from our news sources. That is the Daily Observer newspaper, the Women Voices, the Baptist Herald, and a lot more. This is where we inform you about the happenings within our country Liberia. Front page Africa newspaper. Front page Africa newspaper says amid beer mounting dialogue, corporate post controversial raises. Amid beer mounting, corporate post controversial raises national security concerns. This is from the front page Africa newspaper. One despite Russian oil tankers flying flags turn to Gabon. Liberia still number one, despite Russian oil tankers flying flags turn to Gabon. This is interesting. This is so much interesting this morning. As you may know, Liberia President Bwaka no longer picking my calls. This is one of the old past stories from our newspapers here, and this is an emphasis on our news today from Prince Johnson, Senator Prince Johnson. So we will now move quickly to the hot paper newspaper as we get our news headlines. What is in the print this morning from the hot paper newspaper? What is the top headlines from hot paper newspapers? Stay with me as we bring to you these important information of our country, Liberia, and the war at large. So we take a short break. When we get back, I fill you in on the headlines from the hot paper newspaper. In so doing, we wish you a happy new week to all of our followers and to our beloved members and staff of the Andy Bropler Jala Foundation. We wish you a happy new week. Don't forget, we are celebrating Women this month. This month, July, is International Women Month. So we will be celebrating all of the women out there. And we send out a thank you message to all of our panelists and our guest speaker who graced the occasion for the Andy Bropler Jala Foundation as it relates to the International Women's Day. We appreciate you, all of our staff, all of those who attended the program, our participants. We appreciate you a whole lot, and we want to say thank you. We are grateful. AFELL warns against women compromising their rights. AFEL warns against women compromising their rights. This is so much interesting as well. This is from the hot paper newspaper. So, folks, this is how we take a short break. When we get back, we proceed with our news presentation for today. Please stay with me as I'll be right back shortly.
Hello, dear. My name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Gregphina. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on the show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media with your presenter, Gregphina Coach Park. Daily Observer newspaper, U.S. impressed by House leadership on WECC. U.S. impressed by House leadership on WECC, that is the War Economic Crimes Court. The United States government has lauded Speaker Jay Fonatikova in the House of Representatives in Liberia for their recent votes in favor of establishing the War and Economic Crimes Court WECC. This discussion and decision is seen as a positive step towards accountability and the protection of human rights. The US government, in a statement released on the official social media page recently of the United States Embassy in Liberia, commended the House for its commitment to addressing historical injustice and emphasized the importance of upholding the rule of law and promoting human rights globally. The US says it stands in solidarity with Liberia in its pursuit of justice and support initiatives that promote accountability, peace, and stability in Liberia and the West African region. The House of Representatives is dedicated to enacting laws that benefit the Liberian people and uphold democratic principles, Kofa said in an interview. U.S. Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice, Beth Van Sachs, during a recent visit, assured Liberians that her government stands ready to lend the needed support for the establishment of the court in the country. The U.S. government looks forward to working with all Liberians to make the court a reality. Van Schack said in her farewell statement that she was posted on the U.S. Embassy website in a tone that denotes a successful mission. In an Osma Shahak added that she is leaving on a great note as she is in an exciting mood. Shook hands with President Joseph Yuma Boaka. The U.S. government looks forward to working with all Liberians to make the court a reality, she said. It was a privilege and honor to meet with President Boaka following his pledge to establish a war and economic crimes court in Liberia. During her visit here, Ambassador Van Shahak met with a wide cross section of government officials and civil society groups committed to delivering justice. The momentum of the establishment of the War Economic Crime Court in Liberia is gaining significant attraction as the House of Representatives voted on anonymously to endorse a resolution for its establishment. Senate select team to work with AFL leadership on soldiers' concern. The plenary of the Liberian Senate has resolved to bring to a closure the long outstanding issues impacting members of the Armed Forces of Liberia AFL. The Senate's decision is based on a report submitted by the Committee on Defense and National Security, which was tasked with investigating the circumstances that prompted a recent protest by AFL officers' spouses. On Saturday, February 10, 2024, Army officers influenced their wives to stage a protest against low incentives, inadequate housing, and bad labor practices, demanding the resignation of retired Major General Prince C. Johnson III as Minister of National Defense. The protest practically brought the nation to a standstill and, for the first time in many years, led to the cancellation of the Armed Forces Day celebration held February 11 each year. President Joseph Humon Boakai launched a probe into the incident, while the Patmiral National Legislature promised a separate probe aimed at addressing the issues. The Senate has, however, established a three-member committee comprising Senators Momo Cyrus of Lofa County, Prince Moyi of Bon County, and Francis Dopo of Riverview County. This committee will collaborate with AFL leadership to identify key concerns that can be addressed in the upcoming national fiscal year budget proposal from the executive branch. Among the Senate's priorities is the allocation of a dedicated budget line for the AFL and structuring it in a program-based manner. This is how we move quickly to the New Dawn newspaper for the news presentation. New Dawn newspaper, Bwaka's tax force on scrutiny. Bwaka tax force on scrutiny. Some critics believe President Joseph Yuma Bwaka corruption control effort are mere posturing to attract some crumbs from the international community to support his government. President Joseph Humon Boakai 50 main assets recovery team has been placed under intense public scrutiny hours after it was announced on Friday. On Friday, March 8th, the executive mansion published the names of 15 individuals whom is described as the core team, who are expected to follow and implement Executive Order number 126 establishing the Office of Assets Recovery. However, discussion on several local radio stations on Friday evening revealed several hidden skeletons of individuals serving on the task force, from its chairman Edwin Clark Martins to other team members. Other team members are Ms. Myanmar Robertson, Vice Chair Mr. Alexander Coffey, members, Special Advisor Mr. Martin Colley, member, Good Governance Activist Mr. Ashmed Dempster, member, EFL Emmanuel Gongwe, member, and Advocate Dr. Renan B. Jackson, member, Public Policy Expert, and Ms. Angel Andrews, member, Youth Representative. The rest of the team are Ms. Victoria Monisime, a member of the business community, Mr. George Moore, a member of security, John Morbag Lee, a member of security, and Mr. Chokon Martin Allen, a member of the private sector representative of the General Service Agency, representative of the Liberia National Police, and representative of the Ministry of Justice. A damaging social media post purportedly written by former Auditor General John Molu described President Boakai as following in the footsteps of his predecessors. The executive order to establish an assets recovery task force from the beginning is mere posturing on the part of JMB intended to pump air into space for the sole purpose of getting some crumbs from the international community to support government, the post reads. In the purported post, Mr. Molu is alleged to have argued that the new regime is allegedly using the same tactics applied by Boakai's predecessor, Mr. George Manewia, with the Elton deal meant to attract Bretton Woods. This is how we move quickly to another top story here on the New Dawn newspaper for presentation. No data on Liberia's stage of poverty. No data on Liberia's stage of poverty. The United Nations says implementing sustainable solution and tracking progress over time is challenging due to the lack of data on Liberia's poverty stage. The United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, UN Liberia Country Representative Comfort Lamptey spoke of the increasingly challenging task of implementing sustainable solutions and tracking progress over time. Speaking during the observance of International Women's Day in Congo Town on Friday, 8 March 2024, she said this is due to the lack of data to tell the poverty stage in Liberia. The International Women's Day celebration honors women's social, economic, cultural, and political achievements. During the celebration, Madame Lamtis underscored how this data gap exacerbates inequalities and undermines the rights and well-being of marginalized communities, particularly women and girls who often bear the brunt of poverty's impacts. She indicated that the absence of data on poverty hinders efforts to combat poverty and obstructs the monitoring and evaluation of existing initiatives meant to empower women across the country. Like many developing nations, Liberia grapples with poverty as a persistent obstacle to process and development. However, without accurate and up to date data, policymakers and organizations struggle to formulate targeted interventions and allocate resources where they are most needed. Madam Lamte said, without accurate information, the voices of marginalized groups in the country may be overlooked, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and exclusion. In response to this pressing issue, she called on government of Liberia to invest in getting gender data to aid its international in its intentional and international partners in elevating poverty across the country. So one of the first things we need to do as a call to action is to invest in getting gender data to aid partners in addressing poverty, she noted. This is how we transition quickly to the Front Page Africa newspaper. Front Page Africa newspaper is one of our leading sources within our country, Liberia. Front Page Africa newspaper. We will take a short break right after here, and when we get back, we will conclude on the Hot Pepper newspaper. In so doing, thanks to all of our viewers who are following us. We appreciate you, and we say a happy brand new week with you. We hope and pray that you continue to imminent and you continue to progress in a positive way. Prioritizing electricity. Liberia is going through a recurrent energy crisis due to the shortfall in the delivery to stable electricity to the public. And it appears President Joseph Yuma Boakai is keen to address the challenge. This was evidenced during his recent high-level working visits to Abidjan, La Cote d'Ivoire, during his engagement with the host President Alassane Ouattara on Thursday, March 7, 2024. The Liberian leader stressed that the strategic priority of his government is to ensure increased access and the expansion of stable electricity to the Liberian people. The president's visit to the Cote d'Ivoire comes amid controversy surrounding the resurfacing of a proposal which withdrew strong condemnation on the George Weah-led government from international stakeholders investing millions in a quest for stable electricity for Liberia. Front Page Africa reported last week that the Turkish Powership Group recently submitted a proposal in prevailing on the Boakai administration to have ship brought to Liberia in hopes of easing the power needs for millions of Liberians craving electricity. This is how we now take a short break. When we get back, I conclude on the Hot Pepper newspaper. Thanks to all of you for watching this morning. We appreciate you. Happy brand new week to you. Continue to march in in progress, to continue to march in achievement, continue to march in anxiety, continue to march in excitement, because this month is a month to accomplish all of the things you have desired to accomplish. We wish you a happy new week, and we take a short break, folks. Okay, welcome back, folks, to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So, of course, we run quickly with the Hot Pepper newspaper, and Hot Pepper is an interesting news source here in our country, Liberia. If you don't know, please try to know right now. The Hot Pepper is an interesting newspaper that we have within our country, Liberia. They bring to you hot things. That is the reason why they are called hot pepper. But while we are trying to gather some facts, we trying hard here as media practitioner to cancel the issue of you carrying on mob justice when things occurred in our country, Liberia. And Focal on TV is here to acknowledge you, and is here to teach you that there are certain things you do when these cases arise, right? So here is it. There's this lady who was found about 1 p.m., 1 a.m., sorry, and around 12 a.m., 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. this morning, and she's been accused as a witch, partly from an interview with a man sending and recording. She says she is a witch. However, you cannot carry on mob justice. As we speak presently, this woman is unconscious, and she's placed at the second junction at the chocolate city, right where we have the factory. So this is not prudent enough. This is not good. People human rights matters. People have rights to where you feel another person right and another person right begins. This is something we usually see. If you find a person who is in the act, fine, you find a person stealing. That person is not a rogue until the police say so or the criminal court says so. We have to learn these things. It has been alleged for her in the night. Okay, we have this speculation she was flying and so on. She's a witch. We are Africans. Okay, that's fine. That's nice. If you see things like this, you cannot take the law into your hands. This is the point where I want to talk about. You cannot take the law into your hands. We know we are suffering. We know there are certain things in our life that sometimes we feel is not normal. Yes, but okay, is it because of your own wish that why you transfer to another person own wish? No. If you find someone guilty, you are not above the law to take the law into your hands. If you find someone guilty, all you have to do is report the issue. Let the person be handed over to the police and let the police take their rightful stand. If the police does not act in accordance with our constitution, the next thing you ought to do is to fire in your kids. So you cannot take law into your hands. You cannot go and beat that elderly woman. You cannot do that. That is so bad on our path. Liberians, we must do away with violence. We must do away with violence. If we need a peaceful nation, we must do away with all of these things. You have witchcraft acts all over the world. You have it all over the African continent. You have it all over. But you cannot take the law into your hands when you decide to hit on someone. In case that lady does not survive, she has a family. She has a family. She did not fall from a sky. You yourself, that is well dressed, you do some witchcraft act too as well. Sometimes you go along hating people. Sometimes you go along, poisoning people. These are all witchcraft attitude. So for that reason, should you be killed? No. Why is it that when someone poisons someone, they take him to the police station. What is it when someone go ahead and beat someone to death? They take the person to the police station. Do you know that is an act of witchcraft? Do you know that? Do you know that? Okay, it's against the Bible that you kill someone. When you kill someone, it's bad. It's beyond the law. You face justice for that. So because she is flying and she fell down from the sky or wherever, however you term it to be, that is the reason why you should beat on her. That is the reason. That is the reason why. Sorry, she should be unconscious and just be laying down, waiting to if she does not be attended to by the Liberian government immediately she would lose her life. Is that fair enough? All of us here, we have some healing skeletons in our closet. You cannot go ahead and take the law into your hands. No, it's not appropriate, folks. Let's do away with the issues of mob violence in our country, like period. I feel once against women compromising their rights. I feel once against women compromising their rights. This is from the Hot Pepper newspaper. I feel once against women compromising their rights. Women, we ought not to compromise our rights. We are who we are. There's no need for us to compromise certain things in our country and in our society that we live in. The Association of Female Lawyers of the Liberia, AFL, has warned Liberian women against compromising their rights on domestic violence in the country. According to the president of FL, Ate Philomena Super Williams, Liberian women and girls have been compromising their rights in seeking justice on domestic and sexual gender-based violence (SGBV) over the years, which some men have used as an advantage over their womanhood in society. Attorney Williams made the assertion over the weekend at Douala Market, Bourgeois Island, when Liberia joined the rest of the world to celebrate International Women's Day. This is how we close up things here in studio. We wish you a happy new week. Stay positive. We love you and
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily